Welcome to the Unsleever. In this video I'm continuing to talk about my favorite music moments of 2023. In part 1 I already went through my favorite vinyl released in the year, and in this part 2 I will be going through my favorite albums of the year. On a general note, I think the year started really strong, but I have struggled to connect with some of the albums released in the second half. However, we still got amazing albums from some of my favorite artists today, such as Uchis, Tinashe or Kelela. And funny enough, water seems to have been a running theme through many of these albums. Watch until the end to find out what I'm most looking forward to in 2024. The first album on my list is Lana Del Rey's 9th studio album. I don't follow her career religiously, but I always check out what music she's releasing because there are a couple of albums that I really love from her, and I have to say this is one of my favorites she's ever done. There were a ton of variants for this album, including different covers and colors, but I settled for this one. This is the web store exclusive with a different cover and white vinyl. All versions of the album included a different gatefold and different images on the front and back cover. This pressing sounds decent overall. There are some audible cracks in quiet moments, but nothing too bad. The sound is quite warm, enhancing the intimacy and personal lyricism of the songs. Next up is Jessie Ware's That Feels Good. I was really late with the Jessie Ware fanfare, as I only became a fan with her previous album What's Your Pleasure. But diving into her back catalogue, I kicked myself for not having become a fan earlier. I think she has one of the most soulful and beautiful voices in pop music. This album came out in a couple of different variants, and as you can see here, this is a signed version. Now, usually I don't care about signed stuff that much unless it's something special or funny or it's been done in person. But I saw that she signed one of the albums as Beyoncé through one of her videos on her Instagram, so I thought, why not try? Unfortunately, it's not that one. I don't know if anyone got that, but if it's you watching this video, let me know. I'll pay. The album comes in this slipcase, which I find really cool. Then we have the inner sleeve with lyrics and credits on both sides and a double-sided print. The record sounds very punchy with a heavy bass on most songs, but I am missing some dynamics and the vocals sound a bit compressed. Janelle and Monáe also released their album The Age of Pleasure. This was a departure in terms of the music being more fun and vibey as opposed to their most high-concept albums that preceded this one. I personally loved it, and this was the soundtrack of my summer alongside Beyoncé's Renaissance because I can't get over that album. It came out in a few different variants, and the cover actually was only used for physical editions. There's a different cover that I think it's getting released on vinyl very soon as well. This was sold via their website, and it comes in a gatefold with printed inner sleeves. This is the European version of the album. The US versions included a painting of boobs on the gatefold. I'm not sure why they decided to go with a different image for the non-US editions, to be honest, but I have to say that sound-wise, it's a very exciting pressing. The white soundstage and great mastering make me feel like this liberation party is happening right in my living room. Mitski came out with The Land is Inhospitable and So Are We.
Isn't it inhospitable? Inhospitable.
Thank you. Mitski came out with The Land is Inhospitable and So Are We. I was quite late with her as well. I know that she has a lot of followers from her first few records, but she only caught my attention with Geyser from her album Be the Cowboy. This is her 7th record already, and it's one of my favorites she's ever done. Some of my favorite songs of the year are actually included here, such as Heaven, My Love Mine or Mine, or I'm Your Man. This is a really fun packaging with a die-cut slipcase. I love the design on this album. The typography is unintelligible, but I assume that was intentional. This is the indie edition that comes with 3 postcards. I'm not a big fan of the sound as it is a bit muffled in my copy, although it is a very quiet pressing. I do wonder if it was intentional to master the vinyl this way to make it sound warmer and more intimate. I did this test to see if the die-cut sleeve matches the back cover, but unfortunately it doesn't. I think this is such a missed opportunity. First time I listened to Amaarae, it was her song together with Uchis from a couple of years ago. I don't know why I didn't check her album back then, but this year she released Fountain Baby, and let me tell you, this is an amazing album. There are so many great tracks in it, and some of my favorites are Co-Star, Wasted Eyes, or Reckless and Sweet. This one was a little bit hard to get as not a lot of stores in Europe seem to have stocked it. Packaging comes with a gatefold and a printed double-sided insert alongside the inner sleeve in which the disc is housed. The sound is amazing on this pressing. It is crisp, with a particularly clean bass throughout. Easily one of the best sounding records I added to my collection in 2023. This year saw the release of the first solo album of one of my all-time favorites, Alison Goldfrapp. The album did not disappoint, and I think it holds its own weight against the group's impeccable discography. The first single, So Hard So Hot, is one of my most listened to songs of the year, and she recently released the remix version of the album, The Love Reinvention, which I highly recommend. Okay, with this one I got a little bit overexcited with Ware and collecting, mainly because they are all identical, with only the color of the record being different. But I love Goldfrapp so much. I love how colorful the art direction on this album is. There are 3 different colors and there are some differences in sound. This one, the Blood Records edition, was manufactured in Czech Republic, and while it looks great, it doesn't sound as good as the purple and green pressings that were made in Germany. The mastering is great on all versions, but I found the pink version a bit noisier and quieter than the purple and green editions. One last thing I want to show you. Banquet Records had a limited run of personally signed editions, and I asked her to write her favorite lyrics from the album, and she wrote this, from the opening track, Never Stop. Raven is the second studio album by Kelela. This is her first in 6 years. I think she's one of the most interesting artists right now, and I'm always excited to get new music from her. She's currently rolling out the remix version of the album, which will come out in February of 2024. And in here is my absolute favorite song of the year, Enough for Love. This is probably my favorite album cover of the year. It comes with lyrics on the gatefold. The mastering is excellent on this pressing. This being a dance electronic album, it really needed that bass to come through and be super clean in the pressing, and it didn't disappoint. It is deep and clear without missing any sharpness in the brighter spots. But unfortunately, side C has surface noise. I have read this is a common issue in a lot of copies. Another one of my favorite artists, the very prolific Uchis, released her third album, Red Moon in Venus. If you have been following her for a while, you will know that she tends to change her mind regarding her album covers. This already happened with Sin Miedo, and this time it happened again. This is the first version of the album that she released, and then a few months later, another pressing came out with a completely different cover. So here I have those 2 versions. This one came out first, with the other one following a few months later. The photo quality on this one is pretty bad, so not sure why they decided to go with it as the cover. The first version has a mistake on the tracklist, as it lists track number 7 as Amanecer, when in reality is Como Te Quiero Yo. They are likely the same song, and I think it was just a title that changed last minute. Sound-wise, they are quite similar, although the pink version has some surface noise. Overall, it's decent, but I don't love the mastering for vinyl, as it sounds too bright to me. And finally, Victoria Monáe released the second part of her Jaguar series, Jaguar 2. This was originally a 3-part project, but because there was so much delay releasing the second part, she decided to just end the series here and make it her first proper studio album. I love all the success she's been getting with this album because I think it's highly deserved. She's been releasing music since 2014 and she's been a songwriter for many years. And in fact, she's the co-writer of some of Ariana Grande's biggest hits, such as Thank You Next or 7 Rings. My copy arrived a little bit bumped, but it's not too bad. The gatefold comes with these 2 photos, and there is also a big poster that has the lyrics and credits on the other side. I love the brown color of the vinyl, and the sound is really good despite packing a lot of tracks into each side. There is one more album, or rather an EP promoted as an album, that is not here yet because it's been released at the end of January. I'm talking about Tinashe's Baby Angel. She's another one of the most exciting artists currently in music. I love how she constantly evolves and experiments with ways of releasing and everything while still being an independent artist. So I'm really excited to see what she has in store for us for the new year. So what's coming in 2024 and what am I most excited about? The first one is Uchis, whose 5th album Orquídeas was just released. I'm also looking forward to Usher's new album Coming Home, which is being released ahead of his Super Bowl halftime show in February. Also in February, we will see the release of Jennifer Lopez's sequel album This Is Me Now. In March, the debut album from Tyla, who released one of my favorite songs of last year, Water. Other artists expected to release new music are also Ariana Grande, Mary J. Blige, and Miguel. Some other artists that have not yet announced a particular project but are long overdue are Mariah Carey, who has been teasing new music for a while, but it seems like something is finally in the works for 2024. I really hope so because this is is the longest wait we've had between studio albums, as Caution was released all the way back in 2018. Another one that I always hope to get new music from is Janet Jackson, who has not released an album since 2015's amazing Unbreakable. And as a last wish that will probably not come true, I would love a new album by Sade. That was all for today. Let me know in the comments what are your favorite albums of 2023 and what are you looking forward to the most in 2024. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Or her viral hit, My Love Is Your Love. And Reckless and Sweet. What is this sentence? Oh, come on. We'll make it work. The first single, So Hard, So Hot. 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 Is one of my most listened to songs of the year. This is so stupid. Ay.